into a world of unparalleled brightness and lifelike color with Vizio's Quantum Pro TV. This premium QLED TV, available in 65 and 75-inch sizes, is designed for those who demand the best in picture quality. Breathtaking brightness brings every scene to life, while wide viewing angle delivers the perfect picture from any seat in the room. Enjoy all your favorite apps built in, so you can blast your top songs through the iHeartRadio app straight out of the box. Head to Walmart and find your Vizio Quantum Pro TV today.
It's time to gear up for the NFL season. The new season brings new styles on NFLShop.com. Take your game day style to the next level with jerseys from all 32 teams, including new styles to 2024 and rookie jerseys. Head over to NFL Shop today for the largest collection of officially licensed gear from all your favorite brands. Shop now, go to NFLShop.com.
Welcome to Monday morning here on the Stansbury Show. We're on Rock 106.9. Your esteemed host has already made his first mistake of the day, entering the show open in a place where it's not supposed to be, and giving you a regular show rejoin to open the program. That's a Monday start on a Tuesday morning here on the program. Hopefully we can get our issues, and by ours, I mean mine, ironed out. It is Tuesday this morning. So I'm giving you center field, and yeah, there was ALCS game 1 last night. Did not go the Guards' way. Joey Cantillo, probably the most hated man in Northeast Ohio this morning. 4 wild pitches, we'll get to that. We will get to the ALCS. Plenty of times throughout the program, including here in a second. But it is Tuesday, so we know coming up at 9 o'clock, what are we going to do? Well, first, let's rock the bank. Let's not bury the lead. Let's give you that first $1,000 keyword. We'll get you paid out. That happening at 9 a.m. this morning on the Stansbury Show. Then it's New Tour Tuesday. I got a new jelly roll. This dude's on a hell of a run, right? I mean, who's been bigger and had more? Who's been more consistent? I mean, yes, he kind of does the AC/DC thing, makes the same song over and over, but yeah, there he is at rock bottom.
Shake your hands, only one way to stop.
Yeah.
And I haven't touched a drop in 7 hours, 3 minutes. Hardly sobered up, already wanna quit quitting. Sweating in an old church basement. Wishing I
He slings words together well. Like he just does. He's a decent storyteller, man, he is. There's a little of that you can listen and feel Jelly Roll, if you will. Give you the rest of that new one, Winning Streak. That part of New Tour Tuesday, 9 a.m. this morning here on the Stansbury Show. Also, new Kane Brown. Backseat driver. Dads. This one probably got a pull on the heartstrings a touch. You're just driving down the street, trying to mind your own business. And then from the backseat, man. From the Offspring. This is called Okay, but this is the last time.
just one more thing. Why you running back and forth in my mind?
I love this band. They can get a little puby, and so sometimes I don't love everything they do. But traditionally, I've been a pretty big fan. I'm sure there's some studio work here, but his voice is held up, right? Dexter? Yeah, this is a little teeny for me. So that's new from The Offspring. Okay, but this is the last time. We'll give you all of that for New Turd Tuesday. You can make your votes be known. The text line open, that at 330-450-7625. And there's also the microphone talkback button on iHeartRadio, and I'm on all your socials, that at The Stansbury Show. A lot to address this morning, including, yes, ALCS. That game last night, man, like, it kind of felt like, I feel like games have, like, not vibes, but there's a little bit of a feel, momentum almost, right? And it just never felt like it was the Guards. It just never really felt like they were all the way settled in. I don't know if it's bright lights, welcome to New York City. I don't know what it is, but it felt like they were a little bit the David and Goliath. I mean, that was what the cartoons in the New York papers were, and that's what A-Rod and Jeter were saying, and I was very critical of that yesterday as A-Rod was saying, oh, look, the Yankees got an easy path to the World Series, guys. Oh, look, this is where I think the Guards want to be. Kind of want to fly underneath that radar. Next thing you know, kind of step up to the moment, punch somebody in their mouth. Did not necessarily go the Guards' way last night. Oh, it was, I believe, five wild pitches, I believe, last night. Joey Cantello throwing 4 of those. I have defended and gotten the back of Stephen Vogt since the club announced him as the manager. I said, stop panicking. Let's just see what we get. Many, many people criticizing that decision to put that guy in at that moment. That moment, for any of you that weren't watching, it was bases loaded on the road, ALCS Game 1 against the Yanks. And put that guy into that moment with not enough experience. And sure enough, it did. It looked like nerves. It looked like absolute nerves. As a guy who performs every day, again, not baseball, yes, I understand way less people, yet I understand all of it. But there have been moments where it's like, all right, dude, took about a half a month on vacation, came back, I was like, oh, geez, do I start remember how to do this? Oh my God, a little nerves. And like, there's a little nerves that goes into it. And next thing you know, you're on the side of the building. And Joey Cantello put it right into the side of the building yesterday. That was, I mean, it was almost hard to watch. It was like, there was a part of it where it's like, if you weren't a fan of this team, you'd be watching this like in St. Louis, like, oh God, I feel terrible for this kid. But like on my couch, it was just like, oh my God, I want to kill this kid. So we'll see what we get. ALCS Game 2 tonight. Guards still on the road at the Yanks. We'll take a look ahead at that game. We'll do that throughout the program. Also, another look back at last night's, a little bit of a urinating down day at Taco Bell. We'll get into that today too, here on the Stansbury Show.
The Stansbury Show.
I touch their hearts and souls with humor, with love, maybe a dash of razzle dazzle.
On Rock 106.9.
It's 330-450-7625 to text your studio, and that can be found on your socials at The Stansbury Show. While hosting this program, occasionally you will have to make some bold predictions. Speculation, if you will. And I've done that plenty of times on more than a few subjects. Including, I have said, and this, I've been leaning a little bit more into this, we have put a massive dent in it. And I think we could be headed there with alcohol. Not tomorrow, but I think we could be headed. I think the more we legalize recreational marijuana in more and more states are like, yeah, the mushrooms may not be bad for you either now, right? And I think as you start doing more and more of that, the less you may even need alcohol. But also, it's just the behavior. And the internet is where the experiment gets out of the lab. And I had said this years ago about tailgating before sports events. I was like, remember there was mayors who were mayors. I remember Jane, what was her name? Jane, what was her last name? Jane, God, I forget her name. But that was her whole thing. She was going on a crusade on like, we got to stop this tailgating stuff. We got to go, we're crazy, right? I mention it because there's a video from Baltimore that's gone viral. A lot of you have already seen this. A man named Jack Callis. After the Ravens-Washington Commanders game, which that rivalry or that, between the fans is going to get a little, it's across the bridge for crying out loud. Watch this. You can throw a football to each other's stadiums, right? So those fan bases are going to get a little heated. And over the years, we have seen plenty of videos of people leaving stadiums, hammered drunk, by the way, and getting into fights with one another, beating each other up. There was a huge fight the other day at the Raiders game. And now this video's going viral. Jack Callis is this guy's name. He's literally just walking down the street in a Lamar Jackson jersey and sees 2 guys in Washington jerseys. Walks up. They don't even know. Like, he barely says anything. Then, like, the one guy puts his arm out, like, whoa, what's happening here? He goes to kick him, then starts punching. The guy filming it, of course, goes, "Oh, we got Straggler, we got Straggler," as his buddy is like continues to like punch these two dudes and like beat them in the center of the street simply for wearing Commanders gear. There was no pre-fight, at least on the video. Okay, let me underline that. There was no like Commanders suck, Ravens this, blah blah. We just beat your ass, all this now, and now ego comes out after a little John, and now a dude gets punched. None of that. This guy literally just saw opposing jersey. Now I'm gonna turn into the Hulk and beat these two dudes up. It's ridiculous. Of course, the internet has done its thing, and we're normally not pro-cancel culture, right? We're normally not. Jane Campbell, thank you, Nick Marion. Thanks. The laundry they're wearing, I'm sorry. You start talking to me about, all right, man, people have been pre-gaming 6 hours, things, start trash talk, this, the guy pushed them. You're going to defend it, but I understand how you get there. Fine, I understand how you get there. You're just walking down the street. Minding your own business. I love sports. I like to travel. I want to be able to go into an opposing stadium. I'm telling you, these days, I'm not sure I do anymore. Now, this has always been a thing. It's not like these are new. I remember the San Francisco Giants game, that baseball game. I mean, that was a long time ago. This isn't necessarily new. But as the experiments out of the lab now, and non-football fans are going, oh my God, right? And seeing this stuff, I'm telling you, the assault on your good time is coming. It's like being in a classroom in 7th grade. You can chew gum. You were fine. But the moron sitting next to you chewed gum, threw it across the room, stuck it underneath every desk, and the teacher had to take it away from every last one of us. And this is what's going to happen. Alcohol eradicated from everywhere? No. But videos like this, is this going to restrict how much you drink at NFL stadiums, Major League Baseball stadiums? I think the answer is yes. And I even think I know how they're going to do it. So I'll walk you through that part of it next year on the Stansbury Show.
The Stansbury Show.
You're still gonna put your foot in your mouth?
On Rock 1069.
What you and I had been talking about was Jack Callis, Ravens fan, after the Ravens and Commanders played, roaming the streets, and he just sees two guys in Commanders jerseys and just walks up and starts kicking and punching them. The guy filming it, of course, says, "Oh, we got Straggler." And this guy, I mean, dude, he starts, these guys aren't like even expecting a fight. Like they're like, they can tell he's like walking towards them and something's going right, but they're not necessarily that he's just going to punch them for no reason. Probably a little John, Lamar's better, Jaden kind of sucks, right? Like a lot of, welcome to sports. I mean, I've been to enough a lot of years of my life. I'm a different man today than I was, 30 years ago, right? There's a lot of difference. And so I've seen all of the a-hole walking through the Muni lot. To me, that's fans being fans, and it's like, okay, is it classy? No, but welcome to fan. And it's mostly okay. I've even been the guy drunk, like kind of doing it as I see a Steelers fan walking through with their jersey. Hey-oh! And then you look and say, oh, sorry, man, I didn't realize you had your kid with you. Do my bad. Sorry, man. Like, I've been that. Because people kind of complain, dude, I got my kids, and like, dude, why are football games R-rated for crying out? And so what I'm saying is like, I've seen a lot of this kind of stuff, but like, and I've seen plenty of fights happen. Normally, there's a little back and forth that goes on. Not just, I'm just going to be violent for the sake of being violent. People don't like this term, okay? When I saw this video last night, and any of you that haven't seen it, it's on my X, The Stansbury Show, you can grab it. The moment I saw it last night, I was like, when people hear the phrase white privilege, that's what they think right there. Like, the moment that phrase comes out, those big block sunglasses, that bleach blonde hair, and thinking you can do that whenever the hell it is you feel like it. White privilege, right? I feel like I can tell you the normally cancel culture guy. But you just start walking up and just start hitting people just because they're wearing the opposing team's jersey. One jaw a little bit. Okay, it's probably not even the best thing to do. And at my age, I'm probably not doing it. Right? Let me give me the boost. Who knows? But like the violence, I'm all right with it. So sure enough, the company he works at has already come out. I mean, I saw it last night. They're like, we're out. Like we're done. We're out. So he's gonna lose, right? Because now there's video. He's boldly like flexing in the video after it's over. Why on earth do people think, hey, this video that we're kind of hoping, what the hell is the matter with me? Why film this? thoughts. But one of the thoughts that's in the back of my mind is this one. Whatever I gotta do. The cops don't show up to this because we're having fun. So why bring these killjoys into it? Oh, and by the way, it's only gonna cost me more money. You realize how dumb was this? How much were those tickets? 200 minimum, I'm guessing? He looks hammered enough. So how much was it in beer? Another 100 to park? And now all of a sudden you lost your job. You're going to pay a pretty healthy fine, and you're probably even going to do some time behind bars. You know why? Because the experiment's out of the lab. And the video's in Ohio, in Florida, in Oregon, in California, in Utah. So it's not just like this thing that it lives in infamy there. And I think videos like this are going to get booze taken away from you, or at least a reduction in what they will allow you. If you notice, more and more of those places won't let you use cash. It's about getting rid of the people who work there. I remember when I went and saw Metallica at PNC Park in Pittsburgh, I got hammered that night. Never once saw an employee who worked at that stadium. Never once. And I was like, I don't love this, but okay, it's the new system. But what did I do all night? I swiped my card. You know what's going to happen, don't you? Sorry, buddy, you bought 3 of these in the last hour. Nope, you're good. We're going to combine this new technology we have, swiping the card, and facial recognition, and you aren't going to be able to do that. Now, mostly that sounds like that's going to be a good thing because of this idiot, right? Like, normally I'd be the kind of guy that's like, oh, what the hell, give me my freedom. I should be able to do what I want. And just because this person can't limit themselves, but the more times you see video like that, what the hell are you supposed to think? I've said it about this show. I'm never in trouble with you. Ever. Never am I in trouble with you. You make it not Aaron Rodgers. This is what's going to be going on because the teams are going to be responsible. Where did he get served? If a bar's responsible for your DUI, who do you think's responsible for those 2 guys getting beat on the end of that street? Right? So sooner or later, the teams are going to have to take responsibility, which means what? Sorry, we're not giving you that. And I know what you're thinking. Well, the money. That's how they make their money. Right. You're forgetting the part that they set the price. So they're going to sell you beer. They're just going to keep raising the price and not sell you as many so they can go, no, the price isn't about being greedy. The price is about controlling how much people buy. See, that helps limit it, and that's us being responsible, not trying to line our pocket.
The Stansberry Show.
Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life, son.
On Rock 106.9.
Welcome back to the program. By the end of the hour, get you into the haunted schoolhouse and laboratory. Now open every weekend through November 2nd. And we'll get you those. All right. You don't get everything right while doing this. Sometimes the job is to relay the actual information. And then sometimes it's, all right, so this is what we think is happening out there. Let me tell you what I think is going to happen right around the corner, right? And that's part of the job. You are not going to get all of those things right. And I have failed on a pretty... It ended up being a little bit. I really did think, especially during COVID, that the movie theater was going to be over. More and more people were talking about how, well, I don't know, I just wait for things to stream and I can, like, watch it at my house. I can do that. And I was like, yeah, I think that's only going to continue. I said, I maybe could see it for, like, the big-time action movies and the like, and all of that. I said, but, you know, if you're just watching a romantic comedy, what the hell are you going to the theater for? And I really felt like the at-home viewing would only get accelerated. And we would find ourselves maybe with a different model. I amended that statement. I said, well, horror movies, though, right? Like, you kind of feed off of, like, the suspense and the crowd, and you feed off of everybody else's emotion, and then, you're right, there's all that whole thing. Kind of works. What's crazy is since I made that prediction, I've probably gone to the theater more times than I did before I made it. And I went just again yesterday. I went and saw a movie yesterday. I think most people would go, well, dude, you don't really need a theater for that. I went and saw Saturday Night. For anybody episode of Saturday Night Live before it was even called Saturday Night Live. And it's a behind-the-scenes show about how Lorne Michaels kind of put that whole thing together. He and Dick Ebersol, and they kind of like run you through the whole thing. right? So you see Chevy and you see Dan that are playing these roles. You don't actually see these people, right? And since it's really about him, that probably was the most important thing. He nailed Lorne Michaels. I was asking myself watching the movie, how many people know Lorne Michaels like that, though? Like, I think you kind of have to be like an entertainment nerd to kind of like know him on that level, know what he sounds like, his mannerisms and all of that. Diehard SNL fans probably do. I'm not sure Uncle Bill and Aunt Nancy do, right? But he nailed it. The Belushi was okay. They played him like an absolute dick you wouldn't want to spend 5 minutes with. I was shocked by that. Clearly, the entertainment industry has a problem with Chevy Chase. That's like a thing. Clearly, that's a thing. That was made obvious in that movie. Hey, by the way, the problems with this guy go way back. It's not just the Donald Glover stuff. It's not just that. This has been a thing with him forever. That was, I mean, you took that. That was like, I took that feeling like, oh, okay. This is about Chevy Chase getting a little bit of his. Like, for sure. It definitely felt that way. It also kind of talked about one of the things I always remind you of that nobody really gets remembered, because that they had Milton Berle in that movie. And sure enough, he and Chevy Chase kind of get into it. And Chevy's like telling his girlfriend, hey, honey, look, you're staring into the ghost of television past. Nobody kind of gets, all right? How many people this morning listening to me just went, oh, yeah, that's right. Right? So, like, go to the theater for that. Because I don't know about you, I would have scrolled on my phone the entire time at home had I watched it at home. And that's what I thought about. I was like, I shut my phone off. I was in the theater. There was about, I don't know, maybe 12, 14 other people in there. And not that busy. But I had my phone off, and so did everybody else, right? And it was like nobody talked during the movie. It was kind of, and I was invested in it. I was all in. It was good. I'm not going to tell you to rush to the theater to see it. I think it would have worked better as a limited run series, because I'm very interested in a lot of the stories that kind of happened there that they didn't really get into or didn't have the chance to. I would have preferred 10 episodes on Max, hour a piece, and then, let me see that. Or if you're going to make the movie, make it about the first year of SNL, not just the first episode. I thought that was a little strange, but it was pretty good. I actually thought in the theater, I was like, I could have maybe streamed this at home. But like I just said to you, I was like, no, I would have been on Amazon the entire time I was doing it. I actually think I may have my opinion flipped on this now. Which is, if it's a big-time action movie, watch it at home. I know you're thinking, well, no, the screen and the thing. I have an 80-inch screen hanging from my wall and a sound bar. The action can probably hold my attention at home, right? Are they about to take that car, jump it out of that building, across the street into that building and to buy? That's what Vin Diesel's about to do? Like, I probably at least watch it, right? Because it's like, well, that's the whole, I don't need to, you can't listen to the Fast and the Furious movies. You would stick things into your ears. I mean, the writing's abysmal, but the visuals are what you're doing there. I actually think my opinion might be flipped now. No, let me watch the action at home, and stuff I actually want to pay attention to, go to the theater and I watch it. That may be shifting. For me, I don't know about you. I also saw this yesterday. Apparently Pulp Fiction hit 30 yesterday. You see these posts all the time. Hey, do you feel old when you see this? And like, of course you always like roll the eyes and snicker at it like, do these people not understand how calendars work? Like, it's kind of one of those things. But that one did kind of like gut punch me a little bit. I remember exactly where I saw Pulp Fiction. I've told this story before. I was in Solon at Regal Cinemas. We saw it, my buddy Jim and I. And after it was over, we were like, I don't know what the hell I just watched, but I absolutely loved it, right? Like, that was amazing, right? And he was, yeah. I was like, we're going again, right? It was like a roller coaster. We're like, we're going again. Strike up the band. And we went and saw it again, like a half hour later, because of how good that movie was. Ago, maybe? I feel like it holds up. I feel like Pulp Fiction holds up. Part of it for me is this. What the hell year does Pulp Fiction take place in? What year is it? It's tough, right? Because it could be 88, it could be 90. Most of that movie is like, what the hell's going on in this? What the hell year is this? And the dialogue is so very good. Notice, like, that movie's about action in it. Can't take your eyes off of it. His writing, I don't think it can even be debated. Quentin Tarantino is easily the best filmmaker close, and I haven't even loved everything he's done. I like Django. I like it a lot less than other people. I did watch that not that long ago. It was about a year ago, and I was like, all right, I liked it better than I did when I saw it in the feed. Fresh, man. Like, he came out, that's just it. You saw the movie and you're like, I'm going again. I don't know what this is. I don't know what this guy's trying to tell me, but whatever it is, I want it. I want it because it was like he was just that good and that fresh coming out. Yes, did he steal from here and borrow there and nip tuck here? Sure, as every creator ever has. But that movie turning 30, I was like, man, that's a little bit of a gut punch. I mean, I hate to bring the mood down, but I was like, I saw that with a buddy of mine, and I haven't even talked to that dude now in almost 20 years. And I was like, oh, that's kind of a new jelly roll. Homie may have got a hold of another one there. Goddamn money, right? And so it was one of those things. They were like, Johnny, a lot of things we could put on the screen, right? On this, people, an SNL person, or if you're into the entertainment industry and like a little Tarantino, be a great movie. Business, and this is a ripoff. Quit ripping this off. There are differences in homage and ripoffs. 30 years. People always say, oh God, how old do you feel now? And it's like, dude, you know how calendars work? I know things were a long time ago, but I gotta admit that one kind of felt like a little bit of a gut punch. I started thinking about it because I was like, man, this guy's been great. Because I think Quentin Tarantino's been pretty consistent. I don't love everything. As a matter of fact, I didn't even like everything. But what I like a lot. And his movies are so good, so big, and he's had enough of them now where it can be a little bit of a polarizing conversation. Because he said he felt like that last movie was his best movie. I feel like that's a band talking about their new album coming out. But Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I watched that movie. I thought it was good. I didn't think it was great. And I didn't think it was anywhere near the best of his movies. Quentin Tarantino does a fantastic job of, like, he does a good job of going, oh, dude, pick me up and put me right back in there. Like, he does a good job of that, right? But it got me thinking, what are his top 5 movies directed? And that gets tough, right? Because, people are going to talk about some of that other stuff he had written, right? And, but if we go with directed stuff, not that I get to decide this. Angie's already told me, oh, Stansbury's overrated. He's overrated. I think he's that filmmaker where that's just it. Because he is the filmmaker from that handful of years, you either love him or he will come off as overrated to you. I think that really is a testament to his work and how big he became, right? So if we were going to run down my top 5, Quentin Tarantino, again, directed stuff, not just written, directed stuff. I will take Inglourious Bastards at number 5. I think that movie goes a little underneath the radar in his stuff. And I actually really like that movie. I feel like another one that gets overlooked now, it was kind of bigger in its moment, but it gets overlooked now because of how much stuff he's done good in that movie. Small role, but he did it really well, and it sold that scene in that movie. Give me Jackie Brown, number 4. Number 3, this is where I normally get pushback with me. I find myself putting that movie on quite. I think most people know, turning 30 yesterday, talked about how much I love it. What you may not have heard, and what a lot of people, and I already see the text messages coming in, 330-450-7625. Stansbury, where the hell is Kill Bill? Well, I gave you 5, so Kill Bill 1 and 2 are probably 6 and 7. That's probably what we'll go there. Angie's saying, no, Stansbury, it's not Quentin Tarantino. The director of that decade,
stupid motherfuckers.
The filmmaker of that decade, it's Kevin Smith, she says. Dwayne says, I'll take Michael Bay over Quentin Tarantino. Okay, see, here's what's interesting about that. Michael Bay made blockbuster-type films. Right? A little bit more, and this is going to sound like an insult, and I don't really mean it as one, but they are a little bit more mindless, right? And so Quentin, to me, made more art. Michael Bay made movies. And Quentin Tarantino makes cinema. Films. There's a difference.
it's
I don't know what it is.
fucking
I'm not
horse.
even snobby enough to know the difference. I know there is one.